So welcome back to my channel. A while back I bought this paint a flower dogwood, flowing dogwood, and I have yet to use it. And as I was going through my stuff today, I thought, oh, I haven't used that yet. I'm going to paint with it. So the first thing I wanted to do is look at pictures of dogwoods. Now the dogwood I have in my yard is white. Many dogwoods are. I don't know if it was most, but it's hard to paint a white flower on a white background. So I just did a search for dogwoods, and I could see there's many different photos. Some have no little thing at the tip. Some do. Like this has the little thing at the tip. But I wanted a red one, which is the color of the tree I really wanted at my house. And that's not what I got. So I found this. So this isn't really red. It's kind of a pinkish. So what I'm going to do, because I've got my colors all here, I am going to watercolor this. I'm going to take my color wheel and I'm going to put it down and I'm going to see what's going to match it the best. So it's more on the pinker side, so it's going to be in this range, I think. Let me zoom in so that you can see better what I'm looking at. And just move it over here. So I'm looking at this pink right here. And if I do that, there you can see it better. And you can kind of see through the back. That's going to be the closest of the colors I have. So I'm going to go with this kind of a pinkish. It's also got a little bit of orange in it, a little bit of salmon in it. So I may bring a little bit of this color in when I'm painting. So if I go over here to my paints, and these are the colors I have. So it's going to be this color here. Oops, you can't see. It's going to be this color here, which is Cherry Blossom. And I may pull a little bit of this color in here, which is Red Sunset. And you can see it's got kind of an orangey. Or I may do the Tea Party. So those will be the colors I use for the flowers. And then for the leaves, let's back this back out. Whoops, not over. The leaves are a nice, like an evergreen, a dark green. So I'm going to go over here with, let's see, probably this one. So if I look here, it's going to be probably, I'm going to go with this one here, which is Green Meadows. That's the Green Meadows here. So those are the colors I'm going to choose. Let me put this away. And now what I want to do is I'm going to take this and have to decide how I want this on the card. How about hello, thinking of you? If I did it this way, I could get all 3 flowers on and some of the leaves. I think I'm going to do that. And what I'm going to do is I am going to heat emboss the image with white. Now I want to look very carefully to make sure I get all the powder that doesn't belong where it belongs, if that makes sense, and brush it off. And I think that's it. Now I'm going to heat up my heat tool and be right back. Okay. There you can see it. So that is all done. Now I'm going to get out. I've got water here. I've got a rag, because I need that as I'm, and I've got a palette here. Okay, now first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up my color. So I'm going to take just a water bottle and spritz the colors I'm going to use. And I said I was going to use this family in here. So I'm just going to do that to spritz that up. And the leaves are going to be this green meadow here. And that kind of activates the paint. Okay. And then I'm going to start with this. This is, what did I say it was? It is, oh no, it was the cherry blossom I was going to, no, it's this one. It's this one. Okay, so I'm just adding some to my palette. And now what I should do at this point is just rinse my brush. But I want to get as much paint off my brush as possible, because if I rinse it, now it's being wasted. And it's not that much paint, but I am way too frugal. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of the warm and cozy, I believe that, just a little bit, and kind of mix that in. So that, and I'm looking straight ahead this way at the picture, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to get as much off as I can, and I want a little more than that because I've got 3 flowers so I'm going to grab a little more of this and add that there, and a little bit more of the warm and cozy, just a little bit, not too much, and add that there and mix that all in. All right. Now, the way I paint is wet on wet. I am not an expert watercolorist, but I love to watercolor. So I just make do. So I'm going to start, let's get this way so I can get more room here. I'm going to start with one of the leaves and I'm going to wet it. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm going to wet one of the leaves with this just clear water. Now these are going to be green, so I don't want to touch that. And I like to do the heat embossing because then I have a border that the paint won't run out of, and I can get right up into that. Now, it's light here in my sample and light here. So the most of it, the color is going to be in the center. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to paint it in the center like this. Well, that was way wrong. That is not even the one I got wet. Well, look at the mistakes we can make when we're on camera and a little nervous. At this point, what I'm doing is I'm adding color to the center and blending it up to the top and the bottom of the petals over and over, letting it dry a little bit so it's only damp and not wet. And that way I can get a nice gradation. And I'm doing the same thing on all the petals, so I didn't think that we needed to watch that in real time. Otherwise, this video would have been over an hour long. But as you see, I wet the petal, I add the color to the center, and then drag it up and down to get a little bit of color on the base of the petal and on the tip of the petal. This was probably the longest part of the video right here. All right, now I'm going to work on the leaves. So I'm going to put the green here. Whoops. Put the green here. And it's a little more blue than I want. So I'm going to add a little bit of Green Hills, which is a lighter green, and maybe that will lighten it a little bit, and that looks pretty good. I'm doing a similar process here. I'm wetting the leaf first and then adding the color, and I'm trying to get more a darker color at the base of the leaves where the petals may be shadowing it. So I add a little more to the base, sometimes a little to the top so that it's lighter in the center depending on the particular leaf. In the photo, let me show you the photo again. Are green at the base and kind of pinkish at the tip. I'm not going to be able to do that here. So I need to decide, do I want pink or green? And it's going to be more of a light green, the same color as this, but lighter. Okay, so I want it to be very light, so I'm going to just really water down my paint here and see if how light I can get it. And I almost think I want to get some yellow in there. So let's see what this will do. Now that is, actually, I think I like that. I think that's good. I am going to wait for it to dry to decide if I need to add some shadows in that. While I'm waiting for the center of the petals to dry, I'm adding some more color to the base of the leaves to give some depth. Well, I've got the painting done. I've put some splatters in here. What do you think? All those mistakes? Hardly even notices. And I've got my lines here to match the reference photo. So the next thing I need to do is put my greeting here, or my sentiment here. And I'm using the stamp wheel with the gridded plate so that I can make sure that my sentiments are lined up straight. So if I do this, I can see that thinking of you is not lined up straight. So I can easily fix that. Oops. And hello looks pretty good. But what I think I want to do about these is I want a little more glitter in it. So I'm going to look at my glitter glue and maybe this on that. Let's try that and see. It's got a nice glitter to it. And it's not just because it's wet. It's the glitter in the glitter glue. If it would only focus. There we go. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.